Hey, how's everybody doing? I got something special in store for you right now. I'm about to do my own little review of the Star Wars Holiday Special. I got a copy of it right here. That's pretty sad. Actually, is it? I don't know. Is it kind of cool? Is it sad? I don't know. People do have copies of it. They're all bootlegs. It doesn't matter. But there it is. Apparently Disney, I heard, maybe through the grapevine, maybe a rumor, maybe a lie. I don't know, that they might be releasing it on HD somewhere along the lines, much to the chagrin of George Lucas. But if it happens, cool. I'll probably get a good copy of it because I do sit through this nightmare every fucking December. Anyway, just want to start talking about this crap right away. And before I do, I really need a drink. Ugh. Needed that. And a chaser. Okay. Anyway, 1978, Star Wars Holiday Special comes out, and people were ecstatic. What is this? Star Wars. Oh, it's Star Wars fever still going on. It was just on a year before. And it came on, I can't remember the exact night, sometime in November, I think it was. And they actually had to cancel that night's viewing of The Incredible Hulk. Now, back in 1978, if you were a kid, The Incredible Hulk was a huge show. Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno playing the Hulk. It was fucking awesome. I used to love the show every week, especially the Bionic Bigfoot version with Andre the Giant playing Bionic Bigfoot. It was before Andre the Giant was known and big and huge. No, he was already huge, but not huge in the celebrity status. Anyway, it starts off, you got Han and Chewie in some Star Wars film. You're thinking you're going to get some amazing Star Wars stuff going on. They're in the Millennium Falcon. They're getting shot at. You got a Star Destroyer chasing them. You got TIE fighters blasting at them. And Han's like, don't worry, we're going to get you there. We're going to get you there. And then the opening credits come on. Star Wars Holiday Special, blah, blah, blah. And you're just sitting on the edge of the seat. What's going to happen? How is this going to go down? This is going to be amazing. And what do we get? We get the original sort of announcement of the original cast. You got, it says, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Anthony Daniels, what's his name? Who played Darth Vader? Somehow I've forgotten his name. Guy from Clockwork Orange. Anyway, it'll come to me because I don't know why I'm not even remembering. Wearing a Darth Vader shirt, but anyway, for some reason, they don't mention Kenny Baker. They say R2-D2 is R2-D2. And David Prowse, there we go. Anyway, so then it goes from that, and then you get and then it goes on also. You got Art Carney, you got Harvey Korman, B. Arthur, Jefferson Starship, and Diane Carroll. That's, it's weird. Anyway, so going on, you got 10 minutes of literally the family of Wookiees sitting at home, no subtitles, nothing going on, nothing really. You don't know what they're saying, but you can kind of figure it out. People always say, "Oh yeah, I don't know what they're saying," because it's 10 minutes, and then Itchy, who's Chewie's son, or not Itchy, sorry, that's Lumpy is Chewie's son. Itchy's his father, and his wife is Mala, and that's the three characters. And if you go online, and you can tell them the full lengths of the name, because they all have for some reason, everybody has a nickname, just like Chewbacca does as Chewie. I don't know. It's a weird universe. I don't live in it. I just enjoy watching it as an outsider. But yeah, you got about 10 minutes, and then Lumpy comes in. That's how Lumpy sounds. That's the Chewbacca's son. I don't know what's wrong with him. And if Chewbacca's like, what is he, 100 years to, I can't remember how many years old he is in Earth years. So how old is Chewbacca's son? Is he like 50, 40, 30? I don't know. Maybe more. But anyway, sorry, I just got a message on my camera here saying that my wife's on her way home. Anyway, I will see her soon. She'll probably interrupt. She might even be downstairs now, coming on up. It'll be exciting. Anyway, so after that, Lumpy sits down. He's oh, there she is. I can hear her. She's coming in the door. I might have to pause this for a second, but we'll see. Hi. Don't worry, the camera's facing me, not you. You come in. I'll pause it. Anyway, I'll pause this, but I will see you in literally 1 second in your time. And voila, I'm back. Okay. Anyway, just I really need another one of these. and a chaser. Oh. To watch this movie is one thing. To talk about it, you really need to have some drinks. Anyway, so, like I said, 10 minutes of and all that crap. And then you skip ahead, and then you got Lumpy watching some weird, fucked up Cirque du Soleil imitation stuff that is kind of really, you're watching it and you're like, for about 30 seconds, you're like, this is okay. And then it goes on. And it goes on. And then it goes, and then somehow it's full size in the middle of their like living room thing. I guess whatever it is. And is he watching this? Is he watching the screen? He's just kind of looking at the table. So all this is kind of going on behind him. Is that for him? Is that for us? I don't know. It is just whatever. Anyway, so after that, they're starting to figure out, wondering where Chewbacca is. He's not there, and this is where it gets really getting a buzz now from this. But this is where it's getting weird. Mark Hamill is on the screen. They're trying to get in touch with people that know Chewbacca and Han Solo and trying to figure out what's going on. So they get in touch with Luke, who's looks like the most plastic, real, like life-size Ken doll you'll ever see. Besides these people that get plastic surgery that look like him, with hair that I don't know what was going on with his hair. He's got eyeliner. He just does. If you were to look at him, you wouldn't even know it was Mark Hamill. It's weird. Now I know he had just had an accident in a car and his face got all jacked up and stuff, but still, it's it looks weird. It's like, and he's just there, and then he's just kind of chilling with R2-D2 and he's saying, "Oh, is Han there? Is Chewie there?" And they're like, and somehow he knows what he's saying, and then, "Oh, he's not there. What's going on?" And then, "Oh, I'm sure he's going to show up," or whatever it is that he says, and he's doing this weird close-up shit in the camera, and then I don't know if it's supposed to be an X-Wing engine or something, but smoke comes out of it, and R2-D2's freaking out, and Mark Hamill's freaking out, and then it cutscene or whatever. And then for some reason, now they got a camera that's going into a shop. This is probably the only entertaining person in the whole thing is R. Carney, and in his little store, and it's why they have access to a security camera or whatever it's supposed to be that moves around, first of all, and just kind of in a store. And then this Imperial guy shows up, and he's trying to sell him crap that he obviously doesn't want. The guy's being a complete dick, and he's got a great porn stash, by the way. It looks kind of interesting. But anyway, he leaves, or he's still there, and then Art Carney starts talking to the camera, and he's talking in weird codes, saying that Chewbacca's on the way and all this other stuff, but he's using words to mask it, and I guess it's supposed to be cool. I don't know. But anyway, sorry, skip ahead. We got another quick overdubbed Vader shot, stock footage from the original Star Wars. Vader walking through with some Imperial guys saying they're looking for Chewbacca, but they don't say Chewbacca, they're looking for the rebels and blah, 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 blah. And that's your another 5 seconds of the actual Star Wars world thrown into this ridiculous dump pile that's supposed to be a Star Wars special. So, and we skip it. We're going back into the home, and now we got Mala, Chewbacca's wife, watching a cooking show with, again, you got Harvey Korman playing, I can't remember who he's supposed to be imitating. She was a popular TV chef at the time, back in the 1970s. And it's a little bit comical. It's a little silly. He's in drag, and he's an alien or something, and he's trying to get her to cook trying to teach cooking, and she's got her banter rump, that's what it is, and she's cooking it and trying to imitate what Harvey Korman is doing on the screen, and he's going whip stir, and then suddenly he's got 4 arms, and it's actually a little bit funny the first time you watch it, but then it's kind of like, okay, yeah, well, he's done better things, quite a few better things. Anyway, so Art Carney shows up at the house, at the Wookiee house, and he's got all this stuff, and he's giving presents to Mala, and gives presents to Lumpy, and he gives presents to Itchy, who's the dad. And what does he give him? Basically, it's a porno, and he sits down in this thing, which is a hairdryer, an old school hair dryer from salons, this big thing that comes over your head. I remember my grandmother had one for some reason, and he sits in that, and it's called the Mind Evaporator, and it's basically a softcore porn. In there's no nudity, but just the way they're talking. Oh, you're my fantasy. You're all this with Diane Carroll, who was a disco singer back in the 1970s. Very attractive, really attractive woman and everything, but it's just really out of place in this. And he's basically sitting there going, getting pretty much without touching himself, jerking off in the middle of the living room in front of his grandkid and his daughter-in-law. And she goes into a song, and it's not a bad song or anything. It's just a really messed up scene of the show. So anyway, after that, skips ahead. Now they already did the Mark Hamill scene. Now they're doing the Carrie Fisher scene. So Carrie Fisher's with C-3PO, and she sees them show up on the screen, and there's okay, you need this just to go on. Carrie Fisher, high as fuck, and you can see it in her eyes, and you can see it more when she does this. Hi, where's Chewbacca? Or whatever the line is. She basically stumbles over, almost falls over, and comes up in the camera. And you can see she is like this is when she was, after Star Wars, she got into a lot of alcohol and other issues. She got past them, and rest in peace. I love Carrie Fisher, but it was her at the time. So, and you can see it, and it's hilarious, and it's just kind of like she's kind of wobbling around a little bit, asking about it, and then C-3PO has a few lines, and then it's just funny. And then after that ends, she goes away, and then some of the Imperials finally show up at their door, and you think, oh, maybe a little bit more Star Wars happens, some blasters, maybe some excitement. Nope, they just come in, they walk around looking for Chewbacca, but they don't know who Chewbacca is. They're just saying, why, there's a Wookiee missing, where is he? And they're just like, and Art Carney's like, I don't know, I don't know what you're talking about. So, anyway, that's when then Art Carney distracts one of the Imperials with a really, really terrible Jefferson Starship video where he's got a microphone from the side that literally looks like a big dick, and then it turns into a lightsaber, and everything, all their instruments turn into lightsabers or something, and it's not even a good song. It's awful. And Jefferson Airplane was a great band. Jefferson Starship carried on after that, which is still good, but this is bad. And you see the whole thing. It's just like, ugh, boy, you're just waiting for it to end. And then after that, you go up to Lumpy. He's got in a bedroom. He's watching this little informative video of like something that Art Carney brought him as a Christmas gift, Life Day gift. And again, it's Harvey Korman, and it's him doing an instructional video, and it's supposed to be funny, and it's terrible, and he's supposed to be a robot, and he's glitching and talking in slow motion and doing all this messed up stuff. It is not. Again, we're talking Harvey Korman, who was on Carol Burnett. He was a comedian. He was legendary. He was just funny. But why? Again. And a chaser. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, basically he's glitching, and what they're doing is they're just reversing the film over and over again to make it look like, and slowing the volume. Oh God, it's hard to watch, but I do suffer. Like I said, I suffer through this once a year, every year, for reasons I don't know. And then after that you got the B. Arthur scene that comes up after that. Sorry, I have my things here. Oh, you know what I missed? One part that came before the robot thing is the cartoon, which is probably the best part of the whole thing. It introduces Boba Fett, and I think it's about a 10-12 minute cartoon. It was done by the same animator who had done later on the Droids cartoon, which wasn't great, but when we were kids, it was good to watch in the 80s. But the animation is a little shaky. Han Solo looks like his face was squished and then somebody pulled it in different directions. Um, but it's entertaining. It has Vader in it. It's got all the central characters and just kind of ends. Doesn't really go anywhere, but it's entertaining. I give it that. Anyway, so going back, I was saying the B. Arthur scene, which is probably the second best scene in the whole movie. It goes on for about 10, 12 minutes, I think. And what it is Harvey Korman, B. Arthur's a bartender in the cantina from the original film. And you got aliens that aren't the aliens from the original movie, but like the same species. But it's not Greedo, it's a guy who looks like Greedo and all the others, etc., etc., etc. So, anyway, B. Arthur's the bartender, and Harvey Korman's there, and he's a different character. He's different characters throughout the thing. And he's got a hole in his head, and that's where he pours his drinks, and he's hitting on B. Arthur, and he thinks they had a connection, and then, because she said something to him that made him feel like she liked him, and then while he's sitting there, she hears him say the same thing to someone else, and he's all heartbroken, and then the Empire shows up on a screen and says, they're shutting down everything in the galaxy, and everybody has to leave, and B. Arthur's saying, you know, she's the owner and everything, and she's saying, we have to close down, we have to close down. Everyone's basically saying, fuck you, we want to sit here and drink. And so she finally gives in, sings a song, buys a round for everybody, and it's a nice, you know, nice little song. It's actually a good scene. And everybody leaves, and, you know, it's like I said, it's the second best scene in the movie, and it's entertaining. It's almost worth just to watch on its own. And then skipping after that, it goes back to the house, and then finally Han and Chewie show up. All the Imperials are left except for one stormtrooper that was left behind, and he trashes the kid's room, and he does all this horrible stuff, and basically stands around being a dick. Then Han and Chewie show up, and they sneak in, and the stormtrooper comes out, and then he does a Wilhelm scream off, trips over his gun, and does a Wilhelm scream into the forest, and dies. So they come in, they have their moment, hug each other, and Han Solo hugs the kid and says, oh, I brought him here, and everybody's happy for that. And then the same Imperial guy who's been doing all the announcements throughout the movie comes on this screen and says, oh, we're missing a stormtrooper, where is he? And then Art Carney comes in, because this is believable. And just says, oh, he took their shit and ran away. And then the Imperial guy goes, okay. And that pretty much ends the Imperial involvement. They're not sending an investigator just in case, just to see what's going on. No, oh, okay, he ran away. We'll take your word for it. You didn't kill him. He didn't die. Whatever. So, anyway, Han and Chewie leave, and Han leaves or something, and Art Carney leaves. And now they're doing their Life Day thing, and they have these glow balls, and they go and sit around at a table, and then now goes to another scene, I guess somewhere in outer space, where it's the Tree of Life, and then you got a whole bunch of Wookiees, all in red cloaks, and basically the reason why they're doing that is because the show ran out of money, and they had to still have a costume, so they had a whole bunch of cheap Chewbacca masks that you could buy at the stores, and they probably bought about 100 of them, and made these red cloaks and put on the mask, and they're all walking through with these balls, and for some reason Han Solo and all the cast are there, and then Carrie Fisher is there, sorry, Princess Leia is there, and starts singing a song about Life Day, and blah, 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 and the tune of the main theme of Star Wars. And you can still see she's high as fuck, and Harrison Ford's face in this whole scene is basically like, I gotta make some better choices in my movie career, because no. But it's not a touching ending, it's a silly ending. And then you're back at the Wookiee house, and the family's sitting around, and they're looking at these things, and I don't know, they put their heads on it or something, or touch each other's heads. I don't know what happens. It's just silly. But, and then basically it ends. So, that's the breakdown of the Star Wars Holiday Special. Do I recommend it? Do you want to watch it? You probably don't want to watch it. Do I recommend it? I recommend if you're a Star Wars fan, you ever seen it, watch it once, just for shits and giggles. Is it good? No, it's fucking awful. It's the worst thing you'll ever see concerning Star Wars. There's multitudes, so many fan films out there that are amazing. But this is awful. I do have a copy of it because I am a Star Wars fan, and I do sit through it once a year because I personally, I don't hate it. I enjoy it. It's terrible. It's awful. And you're not going to like it. But some of us do. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Is my Star Wars ring that I meant to point out earlier. But I don't really have much more to say. It's just a little bit of a quirky, funny review. And it is New Year's Eve, so grab a drink, grab a smile, and be safe. Until the next one. Have a good night.